All right, sorry, we got a little bit behind, well, actually, quite a bit behind schedule. I'm sorry about that. Next, we have People v. Nicholas Hilliker, file 25-7076 FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, beginning with People?
Mr. Goodrich, County Prosecutor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Scott Grable, P53-310 on behalf of Mr. Hilliker, and I've had some communication with the prosecutor as well, Your Honor, before today.
All right, and we're here for continuing contempt sentencing and also a docket call on the case. So where are we at on a docket call on the underlying case? Is it resolved, or do we need to schedule it for trial or a plea cutoff here, or where are we at, Mr. Grable?
I would say, Your Honor, a plea cutoff. I've talked to, obviously, Ms. Goodrich. One of the court's concerns last time we're here, there is a uncharged matter that's under investigation in Wayne County. To let the court know, I've contacted the prosecutor's office in Wayne County multiple times, as well as the detective. This is not an unknown phenomenon. They just don't return calls, but I'm going to be real honest with you, Judge. I'm not shocked. That's just the way it is there. I would not be surprised, Judge, if a decision, and I'm not going to say what the decision is going to be because that would be speculative. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't charge. I'll say that, but I wouldn't be surprised if that took another 6 months to a year. So I don't think the court's going to get any closure on that particular matter. It's just they're so far behind. It is what it is. There is a uncharged possession case as well that Ms. Goodrich is working on her office that might be packaged with this. She suggested we schedule another scheduling conference, but again, I'll do whatever the court tells me. If the court wants a plea cutoff, if they want to set it for trial, I serve at the court's pleasure. I'll do anything that the court deems appropriate to keep the case moving along, and then I'll address obviously the sentencing aspect of bond.
Okay, Ms. Goodrich, any objection to continuing the docket call?
No, I join in that request.
And do you think that I should set that as a plea cutoff, or there's too many pieces in motion that we don't want to do that?
Just not knowing how quickly the other case can get up here, it might be difficult.
All right, so I'll continue the docket call, Mr. Grable, to March 10th at 1:50 in the afternoon and allow Zoom appearances for that as well. And did you want to address the contempt sentencing at this point then?
Yeah, obviously, Your Honor, your judge. At this point, obviously, I can't make excuses for Mr. Hilliker. Obviously, he was ordered to put the GPS tether on. Judge, he did not do it in a timely fashion. Obviously, he took responsibility. I mean, I think he sort of took responsibility for it. Obviously, he pled to it. He's been in jail for a period of time. I mean, the court could fashion whatever remedial relief they have on that, but I don't think he was trying to be cute with you or make excuses. So I don't think he said anything that I think he was candorous for what it's worth. At this point, Your Honor, if you want to fashion, obviously, I don't know if a monetary penalty or a jail sentence. He's been in there for quite a bit of period of time, so I'll defer to the court on that. And I doubt the court's going to entertain any type of bond reinstatement. I did mention, I may be jumping the gun on that, the GPS tether with scram tether and house arrest. I don't know if the court would entertain it, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention it, even if the court rebukes it. I wouldn't be doing my job if at least I didn't put it on the court's radar and ask for consideration of that. But other than that, Judge, we'll accept the court's punishment.
All right, very good. Mr. Hilliker, you don't have to make a statement about that, but you're welcome to. Is there anything you want me to consider before I decide your contempt sentence?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. I admit my actions and my wrongs, and I'm getting too old for all this. And I've been going to AA, getting a support group, and I just don't want to put myself in this predicament again. I just need help, and AA is doing that. And if I do get enrolled with the sobriety court, I think that would be the better route. But I just want to better my life, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people on the contempt sentence?
Your Honor, looks like he has served 62 days as of today's date on the jail list. The concern here was that he was ordered to put on an alcohol tether on an OWI third case, and he failed to do so, as well as was struggling on bond, I believe, even before that. So I would ask that he be sentenced to 62 days of 62 credit, but his bond remain revoked.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and enter the contempt sentence at this point in time, and I'll order that Mr. Hilliker serve 62 days in jail, credit for 62 days served on contempt. At this point in time, until I know what the plan is going forward, I'm going to order that his bond continue to be revoked. The alcohol tether was a possibility, and I ordered him to do that, and he refused to comply. So I think for that reason, he's going to continue to remain in jail with bond revoked until we've got a plan of what we're doing going forward. So we'll see you. I can continue the docket call. Mr. Grable, then March 10, 1:50 in the afternoon, and Zoom is fine.
That's fine, Your Honor. Just to address the housekeeping issue, so I don't make a mistake on this. I do anticipate there's a high probability of resolution on the underlying matter, Your Honor. I imagine if he got credit, I don't know if the court would give credit. I don't know if the term is, it's been a while since I used it. It's sort of, the bond would be pro nunc tunc. I think it's sort of like a retroactive bond revocation, but I assume if we do resolve it, he still has the ability to get credit down the line on that. I just want to make sure if I'm missing something, Judge, and I know you've come across this issue before, just to make sure I do my job properly. I just want to put it on the court's radar, and then I know the court has a busy docket. I won't say anything more.
No, I think that's right. I mean, I think he would get credit for time that he's sitting. The one exception is now that with the judgment of sentence entering, I'm not sure whether a contempt sentence triggers the people be givens requirement that he doesn't get credit for time he's serving a sentence. But that's where it's good to get that judgment entered now, so that if the last 62 days don't count for him, tomorrow will. So I guess I'll leave that up to the arguments of counsel at sentencing. Off the top of my head, I don't know whether this fits into people be givens or not.
Not a problem, Judge. And I know the court's always fair either way, and I know the court always considers totality of the circumstances anyway. I appreciate the court's time, Your Honor, as well as letting me appear by Zoom. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Well, have a good day.
You as well.
This conference on a pending bond violation. Mr. Gilbert, what's our status here?
Your Honor, in regards to the underlying case, this matter has not been resolved. So I don't know if the court, how the court wants to handle that, but
We want to continue it to March 10th at 3:20.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, anything further from the defense?
Not in regards to the docket call, Your Honor.
Go ahead on the contempt.
My client wishes to admit that he was around marijuana and he failed to pass the test and had violated his bond. So he wishes to admit that, and I would ask the court to give him time served and ask the court to possibly reinstate his bond. I mean, the young man that has served 27 days in jail, and I think he's learned his lesson, and talking with him. He's 19 years old, and talking with him while he's in the jail. It was I think it's quite the eye-opening experience for this young man, and I would ask the court to consider letting him out. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Hanson, as best you can, raise your right hand for me. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so okay?
Yep.
Okay, put your hand down. Has anybody promised you anything in exchange for your plea of contempt?
No, sir.
Has anybody threatened you?
No, sir.
How do you wish to plead to being in contempt of court? Guilty or not guilty? And it's just on the contempt, not the underlying case. Okay. So as a condition of your bond, you were required to not use or possess controlled substances and were required to pass urine sample drug testing?
Yes, sir.
And did you test positive for marijuana?
Yes, sir.
Is that because you were around marijuana? And you knew that violated your bond? Mr. Gilbert, you satisfied?
I am. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Hanson, you don't have to tell me anything about the contempt sentencing, but you're allowed to. Is there anything you want to tell me about that or no? You can just let your lawyer said some things for you about that. But you can add to that if you wish, but you don't have to. I don't hold it against you if you don't. Do you want to say anything about that?
It was an eye-opener for sure, being in here, and I just want to do better. Do better for my family and my siblings. And seeing them hurt like this, still want to do it to them anymore.
Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations on the contempt sentence?
Your Honor, the concern here is that he's facing serious charges and came before the court on a marijuana violation while smelling strongly in court of marijuana and the seriousness that he's taking the privileges that were awarded to him on bond. Yes, I would ask for credit for time served. It looks like he's been in there 27 days, but I would ask that his bond remains revoked.
Okay, and the contempt will enter a sentence of contempt with 27 days jail, credit for 27 days previously served. Do you know what the bond was set up for?
Okay, yeah, I thought it was a PR.
It was a
bond,
PR bond.
but I thought it was PR.
Well, Mister Hanson, it seems to me the last, time you were in court that, you just weren't taking the process or the charges that you're facing. And I don't know if you're guilty of those charges or not. You have the right to a jury trial, but the process is a serious one.
Yeah.
And we've got lots of detailed process so that we don't just throw people in the jail without due process and without hearing and without a right to a jury trial. But this is a serious process. And I know you're only, what, 19?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but it seemed to me that you thought it was kind of a joke and I really wanted to get your attention. And so I don't know whether we've gotten it yet. Mr. Gilbert says that we have, and your demeanor does seem to be different. I'm going to reinstate bond, $5,000 personal bond, the same conditions. But I want you to know whether you take this seriously or not. I take it very seriously. And so if you don't take it seriously, I will lock you up. Okay.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
we'll see you March 10th at 3:20 in the afternoon. All right, Mr. Gilbert, is that all your matters?
I believe that
Could you
concludes
please
my-
approach with Ms. Goodrich?